Sage Monroe guided her old pickup truck down the winding private road, watching the Archer estate emerge from the Oregon pine forests like something from a dream. The property sprawled across hundreds of acres, with pristine white stables, rolling pastures where horses grazed peacefully, and a modernist glass mansion that seemed to float among the trees. At 26, she was starting over with nothing but her veterinary assistant certification and a desperate need for change. Her ex-fiancé had left her 3 months ago for someone with better prospects, and her family's ranch had been sold to pay debts. This job, stable manager at a tech billionaire's private estate, felt like the universe throwing her a lifeline when she was drowning. The estate manager, an efficient woman named Patricia, greeted her at the staff quarters. The cottage was small but beautiful, with large windows overlooking the forest and a loft bedroom that made Sage's heart ache with relief. "Mr. Archer is traveling for business," Patricia explained, handing over keys. "He'll be back in 10 days. You'll have time to settle in and learn the routines before meeting him." The first week passed in a blur of early mornings and physical work. Sage threw herself into caring for the horses, 6 beautiful thoroughbreds that clearly received top-tier treatment. She cleaned stalls, managed feeding schedules, and spent afternoons exercising the animals on forest trails. The work exhausted her body but couldn't quite silence her restless mind. On her first day off, Sage decided to explore the property beyond the stables. Patricia had mentioned hiking trails with spectacular views, and the spring afternoon was too perfect to waste indoors. She packed water and a book, then set off into the woods. The trail wound through towering Douglas firs and flowering rhododendrons. After an hour of walking, Sage noticed a narrow side path she'd missed before. Curious, she followed it uphill until the trees opened into a clearing. Her breath caught. A glass-domed observatory sat on the hilltop, its structure gleaming in the afternoon sun. Solar panels surrounded it like a crown, and through the transparent dome, she could see a massive telescope pointed at the sky. Sage approached slowly, half expecting alarms to sound. But the door opened at her touch, unlocked and inviting. Inside was a sanctuary of astronomy, star charts covering the walls, computer monitors displaying celestial data, and the magnificent telescope dominating the center. She couldn't resist. Moving to the eyepiece, Sage adjusted the controls with familiar ease, her astronomy minor from college flooding back. She'd abandoned that passion when her fiancé called it impractical, but now, alone with the stars, she felt something inside her reawaken. The telescope was pointed at Jupiter, its bands clearly visible even in daylight. Sage made minute adjustments, finding the Galilean moons with a thrill of recognition. She was so absorbed that she didn't hear footsteps behind her. "Find anything interesting?" Sage screamed, jumping away from the telescope so fast she nearly fell. A man stood in the doorway, backlit by the setting sun. As he stepped inside, she got her first clear look at him. Tall and lean with dark hair slightly disheveled from travel, he had sharp features softened by genuine curiosity. His gray eyes held intelligence and something else, loneliness, maybe, or recognition. He wore jeans and a black sweater that probably cost more than her truck, but moved with casual grace. "I'm so sorry," Sage stammered, her face burning. "I didn't mean to trespass. I was just exploring and I saw the observatory and I couldn't help myself. I'll leave immediately." "You're Sage," he interrupted, moving closer. "The new stable manager. Patricia mentioned you have a background in veterinary science, but she didn't mention astronomy. You're Mr. Archer." Sage wanted to disappear through the floor. "I apologize. I know I shouldn't be here without permission." "Dominic," he corrected, surprisingly gentle. "And you found Jupiter. Most people who sneak in here just take selfies with the telescope." "People sneak in here often?" Sage asked before she could stop herself. A slight smile touched his lips. "You're the first. I was testing whether you'd make excuses or own your curiosity." He moved to the telescope, checking her adjustments. You know what you're doing. That's a delicate calibration. I studied astronomy in college before switching to veterinary sciences. It was supposed to be impractical. Sage couldn't quite meet his eyes. I'm really sorry, Mr. Archer, Dominic. This won't happen again. Why not? He looked genuinely confused. The observatory sits unused most of the time. I built it 5 years ago with grand plans, but running a tech company doesn't leave much time for stargazing. Then why build it? Something flickered across his expression, grief, maybe, or loss. Someone I loved was passionate about astronomy. I thought if I created the perfect space for it, I could understand what she saw in the stars. He paused. I never quite managed. The raw honesty in his admission surprised Sage. This wasn't the aloof billionaire she'd imagined. This was someone wounded, searching for connection to something he'd lost. The stars are about wonder, Sage said softly. Not understanding. It's about feeling small in a way that's comforting rather than frightening. Like our problems are tiny compared to the universe's vastness. Dominic studied her with new intensity. That's exactly what she used to say. He gestured to the telescope. Show me. Teach me what you see. Are you serious? Completely. Consider it part of your job responsibilities. His smile was warmer now. Stable manager and astronomy consultant. I'll adjust your salary accordingly. Sage's heart raced. This was insane. She'd been caught trespassing and now he wanted to pay her for it. I don't understand why. Because you're the first person in 5 years who made this place feel alive again, Dominic interrupted. Because when I walked in and saw you at that telescope, completely absorbed, you reminded me why I built this observatory in the first place. And because. He hesitated, vulnerability clear in his expression. Because I'm tired of being surrounded by people who only see my money. You see the stars. Sage found herself nodding before conscious thought caught up. Okay. What do you want to learn first? They spent the next 3 hours at the telescope. Sage showed him Saturn's rings, the Orion Nebula, distant galaxies captured by the observatory's powerful lens. Dominic listened with genuine fascination, asking thoughtful questions and laughing when she explained the mythology behind constellation names. As night fell completely and stars emerged in force, they moved to the observatory's observation deck. The sky stretched endlessly above them, the Milky Way a river of light unmarred by city glow. I forgot how beautiful this could be, Dominic said quietly. How peaceful. The universe is always there, Sage replied. We just forget to look up. He turned to her then, his expression unreadable in the starlight. Sage Monroe, I think you appearing at my estate is either the best accident or the worst mistake I've ever encountered. Which one? I haven't decided yet. But I'm looking forward to finding out. They stood there in comfortable silence, two lonely people finding unexpected connection under an infinite sky. Sage had no idea that this moment would change everything, that the man beside her carried secrets that defied explanation, that she was about to become part of something extraordinary and impossible. All she knew was that for the first time since her world fell apart, she felt like she was exactly where she belonged. Dominic began appearing at the stables during Sage's work hours, asking questions about the horses and somehow always steering conversations toward astronomy. They fell into an easy rhythm. She'd care for the animals while he'd lean against stall doors, discussing everything from quantum physics to childhood dreams. Their nightly observatory sessions became routine. Sage taught him to identify constellations while Dominic shared stories about building his tech empire from a college dorm room. He was brilliant but unexpectedly humble, wealthy but genuinely lonely. Everyone wants something from me, he admitted one night as they charted meteor trajectories. Business partnerships, investments, access to my network. You're the first person in years who just wants to talk about stars. The stars are more interesting, Sage teased, but her heart ached at the isolation in his voice. 2 weeks after their first meeting, Dominic made an unexpected offer. "I have a private research facility on the property, studying atmospheric phenomena and deep space observation. I need someone to manage it. Someone who understands both the science and the wonder." "Dominic, I'm a stable manager with an incomplete degree. You're someone who sees what matters. The technical skills can be learned." He moved closer, his intensity palpable. "Say yes, Sage. Let me give you back the dreams someone told you were impractical." She accepted, and her world expanded. Days were spent learning sophisticated equipment, nights analyzing data, all while maintaining the stables. But more than the work, she treasured the time with Dominic, his dry humor, his unexpected kindness, the way he looked at her like she was solving a puzzle he desperately wanted to understand. One evening after a particularly successful observation session, Dominic caught her hand as she packed equipment. "Sage, there's something I need to tell you. About why I built this place. About what I've been hiding." His expression held fear and hope tangled together. "It's complicated and you might not believe me, but if we're going to continue whatever this is between us, you need to know the truth." Sage squeezed his hand. "Then tell me." They sat in Dominic's private study as he told an impossible story. His partner Arya had been an alien astrophysicist studying Earth's astronomical development. They'd fallen in love despite the impossibility. She died 6 years ago giving birth to their daughter. "Celeste is half human, half alien," Dominic said, his voice rough. "Her skin has a purple tone from Arya's genetics. She's 8 but intellectually far beyond her years. I've kept her hidden because if anyone discovered her existence, she'd become a specimen, not a child." Sage processed carefully. This explained everything: his isolation, the private estate, his desperate need for someone who saw beyond surfaces. "Where is she?" "Here. In a secure wing of the house. She's never been outside freely, never played with other children. She exists in a beautiful prison because I don't know how to keep her safe any other way." His eyes pleaded. "I'm telling you because I'm falling in love with you, and you deserve to know what loving me means." "Show me," Sage said simply. Dominic led her through hidden corridors to a stunning space filled with books, art supplies, and advanced technology. A small girl sat reading, her skin a soft lavender that shimmered subtly. She had Dominic's features but extraordinary violet eyes that held galaxies. "Celeste, this is Sage. She's someone very special to me." The girl studied Sage with unnerving intensity. "Your heart rate elevated when you saw me. Curiosity rather than fear. That's promising." "Hi, Celeste," Sage said, kneeling to her level. "Your dad tells me you're brilliant. What are you reading?" "Quantum entanglement theories. Father thinks I should read more children's books, but they're simplistic." She tilted her head. "You study stars. Do you understand how my mother's people used quantum fields for interstellar navigation?" Over the following weeks, Sage visited daily. She brought star charts and played games, treated Celeste like a child who needed wonder alongside her vast intelligence. The girl bloomed under attention, laughing and creating art that blended human and alien perspectives in breathtaking ways. Dominic watched them together with visible emotion. "She's never bonded with anyone like this. You're giving her what I couldn't: normalcy and acceptance." One night on the observatory deck after Celeste was asleep, Dominic pulled Sage close. "I love you. Not just for accepting us, but for being exactly who you are." "I love you too," Sage whispered. "All of you. This strange, beautiful family." Their kiss was tender and deep, full of promises about impossible futures they were brave enough to believe in. Sage was analyzing data when Patricia rushed in, her face pale. "There's someone here demanding to see you. He says he's your fiancé." Connor stood in the estate's entrance, looking exactly as she remembered: handsome, confident, and entirely self-centered. "Sage, we need to talk. I made a mistake leaving you. We have nothing to discuss." Sage kept her voice steady despite her racing heart. "I heard you're working for Dominic Archer now. Living quite differently than the ranch life you planned." His smile was calculating. "I did some research on your employer. Very private, very secretive. I wonder what he's hiding on this isolated estate." Dread flooded through her. "Connor, leave. Now. Not until we talk about us. And maybe about the strange purple-skinned child I saw through a window yesterday when I was exploring the property." Before Sage could respond, Dominic appeared, his presence commanding. "Mr. Hayes, you're trespassing. Leave immediately." "Or what? You'll call the police?" Connor's expression turned ugly. "That might be awkward when they discover what you're hiding. A freak child, some kind of genetic experiment? That's quite the scandal." Dominic moved with controlled fury. "Security will escort you out. If you speak about anything you saw, my lawyers will destroy you for defamation and trespassing. Try it. I've already sent photos to a colleague in case something happens to me." Connor looked at Sage. "Choose carefully. Come back to me and I forget everything. Stay here with him, and the world learns his secret." After security removed Connor, Sage found Dominic in Celeste's room, holding his terrified daughter. "Someone knows," he said quietly. "We have to disappear. Tonight. Then we go together," Sage said firmly. "All of us. I'm not leaving you to face this alone." Dominic pulled her close with his free arm. "This isn't your fight." "Yes, it is. You're my family now. Both of you." But the situation worsened when Dominic's head of security discovered that Connor had been hired by a rival tech CEO who suspected Dominic was developing revolutionary technology. The photos of Celeste had already been shared. "We have maybe 48 hours before this goes public," Dominic said grimly. "I have a property in the Rockies, completely off-grid, fully secure. We leave at dawn." That night, Sage helped pack essentials while Celeste clung to her, frightened but trusting. As they loaded vehicles in darkness, Dominic caught Sage's hand. "You can still walk away. Live your normal life." Sage looked at him, then at Celeste, watching them with ancient eyes. "This is my normal life now. Let's go home." 6 months later, Sage stood in their mountain observatory, watching snow fall across peaks that touched the sky. The property was paradise, isolated but beautiful, with a state-of-the-art research facility that attracted scientists sworn to secrecy. Celeste thrived here. She ran through meadows with her purple skin glowing in sunlight, created art displayed in their private gallery, and taught visiting researchers about her mother's theories on quantum astronomy. Sage had become her guardian and teacher, blending Earth education with the girl's extraordinary heritage. The research facility flourished under Sage's management. She'd assembled a small team of trustworthy scientists studying atmospheric phenomena and deep space. Her published papers were gaining recognition, and she'd finally completed her astronomy degree remotely. Connor's threats had evaporated when Dominic's lawyers presented evidence of corporate espionage and blackmail. The rival CEO faced federal charges, and Connor fled to avoid prosecution. Dominic's reputation remained intact through careful crisis management. One clear winter night, Dominic led Sage to their private observatory deck. Celeste was with Patricia, giving them rare alone time. The sky blazed with stars and the aurora borealis danced in green and purple waves. 6 months ago, you risked everything for us, Dominic said, taking her hands. You chose a complicated, hidden life when you could have walked away. It was the easiest choice I ever made, Sage replied honestly. Dominic knelt in the snow, pulling out a ring with a purple stone that seemed to hold starlight. This was Aria's. Before she died, she told me to give it to someone who could love Celeste as their own and see the universe's beauty in impossible places. Tears streamed down Sage's face as he continued. Sage Monroe, you taught me to look at stars again. You gave my daughter joy and freedom. You chose us when choosing us meant giving up everything normal and safe. Will you marry me? Will you be Celeste's mother and my partner in this extraordinary life? Yes, Sage whispered. Yes, absolutely yes. Celeste burst onto the deck, cheering. I painted this moment 3 months ago. I knew you'd say yes. They laughed together, holding each other as the aurora swirled overhead. Dominic kissed Sage deeply while Celeste danced around them, her purple skin glowing like she was part of the celestial display. Later, wrapped in blankets on the observation deck, they watched meteors streak across the infinite sky. Sage thought about the woman she'd been, broken by betrayal, convinced her dreams were impractical, lost and purposeless. That woman would never have recognized this life as possible. But here she was, engaged to a brilliant man, learning to trust again, mother to an extraordinary child who needed her, and finally pursuing the astronomy career she'd abandoned. I used to think the stars were an escape, Sage said softly. A way to feel small and insignificant. But now I understand, they remind us that the universe is full of impossible, beautiful things. Like alien children and second chances and love that crosses galaxies. Like you, Dominic murmured against her hair. The most impossible, beautiful thing I've ever found. Celeste snuggled between them, pointing out constellations in her mother's language, a musical sound that meant home and family and belonging. Sage looked at the ring glowing on her finger, at the man who'd given her back her dreams, at the child who'd taught her that family is built through choice and love rather than biology. She'd come to this estate running from heartbreak, seeking any refuge. Instead, she'd found her constellation, 3 unlikely stars forming something beautiful and permanent against the infinite dark. Above them, the universe wheeled on in its eternal dance, indifferent and magnificent. But here on this mountain, under these stars, 3 souls had found their place among the cosmic wonder. And that was everything.